Really, Titans fans? Really? We waited an entire winter, spring, and summer for that? For that? Crazy. Crazy. This operation's going about as sloppy as Tennessee Titans offense. I had clicked to start the intro and it wouldn't play. So I was like, well, I guess I'll just keep talking. And then as something just starts playing. So I don't know. So this video is starting off about as good, like I said, as the Titans offense. So it's going to be a two-man show today. I'm joined by this guy.
Hi, how's it going?
Do you need glasses?
Yes, I 100% do.
Oh, you might be on delay. Okay. Yeah, so again, this whole thing's just going about as sloppy as the Titans offense because now we're on a big old fat delay. I say something and 5 seconds later, he finally hears it because I bring you in, you're just going, we got to know what was happening. Like an old man looking for his dentures or something. But anyways, let's just go ahead and jump right in, buddy. This game, if somebody told me when I woke up in the morning, said the Tennessee Titans defense and special teams are going to play lights out. They are going to create 4 turnovers, and the Titans are going to lose by 1 score against a very good Broncos team that some people are saying dark horse Super Bowl candidates. I'd be like, I'll take it. But it's not the score. It's how we got to where we were. That was despicable. I don't even know where to start. I guess for poo-poos and giggles, we'll just start at the top. Brian Callahan. Let's hear what your take is on the whole Brian Callahan situation.
It's funny. You know, I came into this season with the mindset, I really think it'd be hard to get Callahan fired. And I really don't want him fired, no matter how bad he is, because I just don't want Cam Ward to have a new system, a new head coach in year 2. That's just not good for young quarterbacks. But he was so bad today that I'm like, man, another game like that, I'll be like, after the season, get rid of him. I mean, he looked terrible in every facet. Play calling, bad. The discipline, which penalties on your team is, that's a reflection of your head coach. We was bad in that in last year. We was bad this so far in week 1. How many did we end up having? Like a ton.
I think it's like 11 for 120 something yards. We literally had almost as many. I'm sure everybody's seeing the stat now. We had almost as many penalty yards as we did yards on offense.
Yeah, he was just garbage in every way. Stupid decisions in the to give them a touchdown. That was all on Callahan. That right there before at the end of the half. I mean, he looked bad. He was bad. Like, he looks like the moment's too big for him. And I just like, how good is this guy actually a head coach? I just don't think he's a very good head coach right now.
The problem is he showed what Todd Downing showed with us, where it's like maybe you know how to call a game, like the operation's smooth. You know what kind of play maybe needs to be called on a lot of times, but a lot of times it's like you don't actually notice the scoreboard. You don't notice how much time is left. You don't notice the down and distance. It's like you just have a sheet of plays. You're like, okay, well, it's 2nd and 10, so this is a good time for us to do a nice little 5-yard dig route as our primary read here, and yada, yada, yada. It's like, I don't know, it's like he has no actual situational awareness. And that's what Todd Downing's big problem was. That's what Callahan's problem felt today. Kind of. That was a problem. But another problem I have with Callahan, he was aggressive when we needed to be conservative. He was conservative when we needed to be aggressive.
Yes.
Because it was 3rd and 10, and we were on the 25, 30-yard line? 3rd and 10, and he runs up the middle. That was stupid. Later, we were close to midfield. It was 4th and 1. Quarterback sneak that bad boy. No, he punts it.
He doesn't like to go for it, does he?
Nope.
I'm surprised he didn't punt in that last drive.
Yeah, I agree. But then it was 40-something seconds left of the half. We're backed up at our own 5. He keeps dropping back in the end zone, throwing, and it was a 50-50 whether that was actually a safety or not.
Mhm.
It might have been a safety. Where I'm like, what are you doing, brother? And too many times we ran the ball straight up the middle, over and over
Yeah, he
and
had
over again.
no imagination when it comes to running. It was just up the middle, up the middle, up the middle.
No misdirections, no tosses. It was literally just a little bitty back in Tony Pollard, just up the middle with a struggling offensive line. That's a conversation we'll get to soon. Not yet. But that was, and I was a big time defender, not big time, but I was somewhat of a defender of Callahan because the fan base was kind of divided on Callahan. Some people said, get rid of him. Some people say, oh, he's doing great. I saw a lot of plays where there would be somebody open and Will Levis just made the wrong read or the wrong throw or something. I was, again, to say I'm just a true defender of Callahan's a little bit of a stretch. But I will tell you right now, this was the worst game he's had as head coach for the Tennessee Titans. Well, I guess of any team. It's the only team he's ever coached. I agree with what you said. He looked like the moment was too big for him. Didn't look like he was ready to be a head coach. But at the same time, he's been talking all offseason long about how much more comfortable he is as his role as head coach because he actually knows what to expect. He can take what he did well and continue to do it. He can take the things he didn't like that he did or things he didn't know or struggled with in his rookie season as a head coach, and he can correct those mistakes. But he decided to follow all that up with his worst, by a good bit, head coaching game of his career.
And in year two, that's just not supposed to be the case.
Yeah.
He like in the offseason, you're supposed to get better, especially if you're a young head coach. You know, you're supposed to understand situations and just handle it better. And he looked clueless. And to be honest, I think here's the problem. I think with a good roster, Callahan is going to coach us into some losers, some L's.
If he coaches like that, he sure will.
Yeah, but I'm saying we have a bad roster. So you give us a bad roster with him as head coach. How are we supposed to win? I was listening to some Titan people talking, and one guy said this, and it's so true. It was like, you know what we look like today? The exact same team as last year. That's what we look like.
The only difference is that no dumb interception.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But I mean, Will Levis once in a while would have a game he threw no interceptions, but we'd still lose those games. But he would have those not very often, but once in a while. And here's the thing. Well, I don't want to get off this too much, but I'll talk about that later. But I would say, Callahan, your team looks the same. You got to do better than this because right now I'm giving. If you give me a pie, I'm giving him a large slice of it.
I would say I'd give him more than half.
Yeah,
head coaches are not supposed to lose you a game. Coaches are supposed to just put players in a good position, and then the players win you the game or lose you the game.
Yeah,
I would agree that he might get 55-60% of the blame pie just him by himself as head coach,
and that's just not acceptable.
Yeah, so let's follow that up with a good thing. I'll tell you right now, I think our defense played lights out football. Slight stock down on L'Jarius Sneed. Apparently, he only ended up playing 19 snaps, which is weird because, like, he's playing pretty good to me. Maybe I just break up on a ball. He was, even when he allowed a catch, he was like right in their back pocket. So, like, look like L'Jarius Sneed to me, and they pull him out.
Is it? No, I don't know this. Pull out? Was he feeling some discomfort, or do you think it was just more of a tired?
My guess is he's tired, but I should have watched Callahan's interview before jumping on here because I'm sure somebody asked him about that. But I'm sure we'll get. But yeah, so back to being positive. I thought our defense was fantastic. Brownlee, they're penalizing him a lot. I think they penalized him 4 times. 2 times I think he deserved it. 2 times I don't think he did. But then there was another time he absolutely did a pass interference that they didn't call him for.
I do agree. I think the refs called maybe too much on him, but he does cross the line with hands, like just a little less handsy. But he is a very handsy cornerback.
Yeah, it's the pulling that I don't like. Like if you want to put your hand on him or even just grip, I guess that's okay. But when you're pulling, like when you're clearly pulling and you see the jersey coming out like that, like don't do that.
It's hard to talk too bad about this defense. This defense was good. Now, something that scales me, Sweat, and I don't know how bad it is, but Sweat went down and Brownlee went down, and that's 2 big pieces though. So
so J.C. Latham. So yeah, we didn't come out here healthy. But yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes, I guess. As the week goes on, the injury report comes out. But yeah, so back to defense and us being positive. I thought I was going to say Jeff had a big game, but we'll talk about Jeff later. He had a good game up until a certain play that we all know about. T'Vondre Sweat made a great 4th down stop there. Yay, Sweat. The pass rush I thought was smart the way we did it. What do you mean? I really think we were basically, instead of channeling Arden Key and Jermont Jones to get sacks, it's almost like we were just making them run out far to keep him in the pocket and then letting Big Jeff and Sweat. Yeah, because there were a lot of times where he had to run up so that the pass rush didn't get him. Then he'd try to run out. And when he would run out, that's when Joseph Day or Simmons would peel out. And he'd have to make
He had a good day.
He had a really good day. Remember, he had a good day last week, one as well. I think he had a sack against the Bears last year.
One thing though, I feel bad for that defense. I thought Denard Wilson called a good game. I thought our defense played the tails off. I'm sorry, your defense makes 3 turnovers. You gotta win. You just gotta win.
I agree. Not just that, but like I feel like even when they got completions on 3rd and 5 and picked up a 1st down, it would be like the edges would go around the edge. The line would come up. Bo Nix would run for his life and do this crazy contort type throw. And we'd have a corner right in the guy's back pocket, but it was just an amazing pass way out there. That was a catch where I'm just like, okay, good job, Broncos. And even that defensive touchdown, that touchdown our defense allowed at the end of closer to the end of the game to that running back, I wasn't even mad at the defense. I'm like, these boys have been out there playing. They are tired.
Yeah.
So if I was giving my defensive grades, I would give them an A-. And there's one big reason why it's an A-, and I'm just going to go ahead and jump into it and make it our next negative. Do you know what it is?
There's a lot. We can talk about the line.
I said defense. I'm talking about defense.
Ridley?
I'm talking about defense. Defense.
Oh, my bad. Defense.
I said they're A-, and the reason they're not an A, I could honestly knock them down to a B+ because of one thing that happened on defense. At the end.
The touchdown?
Jeff Simmons.
Oh, Jeffrey Simmons.
Because we would have gotten the ball back with like 3.5 minutes left.
Yeah, we would have been. Well, I would say good shape.
We could have even ran the ball.
Good shape, but
we could have even thrown away some downs and ran the ball because we know how much Callahan loves that. But we would have had plenty of time to go down the field, score a touchdown, get an extra 2, and tie it up. Plenty of time. But instead, the whistle was blowing. The play was dead for a while, and Jeff just runs over there and just pushes an idiot.
He just can't help himself.
He can't. It's like when he's playing, he just sees red and he can't be reasoned with.
No.
And it's a pity, too, because he had been playing so good up to that point.
He has been. It's just, I was very frustrated with Simmons. It's just, sadly, it's who he is now. There is no change in him. He makes good plays for you, but he's going to cost you some 1st downs. And the sad thing is, a lot of times he does it in horrible moments. Is the sad thing.
Yeah. It's not like he does it in the first half when the game's you're winning 3-10 and it's a random 2nd down and you do something stupid. You do it in the biggest moments. The defense, I would have given them honestly probably an A, just a flat A performance if they just would have made that stop, which they made. Cody Barton made the stop. They were ready to punt it to us. We have about 3.5 minutes to go down the field. And then he does that. I'm like, that just ruined the whole thing. And then he's supposed to be a leader. Your team's supposed to be looking up to you, and that's what you do. Trash.
It was disappointing. But at the end of the day, this is hard to say anything negative about that defense.
Yeah, but all in all, I'm proud of what they did. But somebody needs to have that captain patch next year. That's not Jeffrey Simmons, because that's not the leader you want. That's not the person you want to follow. All right, back to a positive. Special teams. Special teams created a turnover. Almost created a touchdown. With Chim DK, that wasn't his only good return. He had a couple other good returns where it was like 10, 12 yards.
That is something to look forward to, especially, I mean, if our offense was decent, that the thing is, special teams is something, if you're right down the fence, it can push you over to making you a good team or even a great team. But when you're so bad like we are, it's sad. It almost feels useless. But I was very impressed with that special team in every facet, kicking field goals. I thought
4 for 4
would outkick some coverage, but nothing too bad came from it. DK looked good. Yeah, I like special teams. Special team was good.
Yep, Joey Sly 4 for 4, and I think we pinned him in the 10 a time or two with Johnny Hecker. So, kudos to Bones Fossil and his unit over there. Keep up the good work. Kudos to special teams. We've talked about coaching. We've talked about defense and special teams. Now, the biggest gripe and complaint of all. the offense.
I mean, that kind of goes with Callahan too, though. But go ahead.
It does go to Callahan, but also that offensive line fell apart. At first, they were okay. They were
I agree with
fine.
that.
I didn't like Dan Moore getting beat pretty quick a couple times off the edge there, and then J.C.
Dan Moore
Latham
stopped
gave
the
up.
whole game. Dan Moore
J.C.
stopped.
Latham gave up a stupid sack where they snapped the ball and it's like everybody started running except for J.C. Latham. He's like, "Oh
Yes.
crap, I'm playing football.
Yeah.
I forgot," and then it was too late. That was bad. But then after halftime, our whole offensive line went to crap.
It did.
Who knows if PFF puts together their stats with pressures allowed and this, that, and the other, and pass blocking grade, there might be somebody like a Peter Skronsky might have done well. But like even Peter Skronsky, I think got penalized twice today. So, but maybe somebody did decent. But as a whole, that's the same offensive line that would have made Will Levis throw a pick or 2 or 10.
Yeah. The second half was just a different story. We looked like crap. I'm afraid that maybe they made adjustments in half and we didn't. But
I think that's what they were doing. I think they just sent the house. I think they just sent the house. We never picked up the blitz, and apparently nobody got open quick enough. Whether the right routes were called or weren't called, or whether just they weren't open.
It just feel like between the play calling and the O-line, and this scales me, actually. If you want me to be honest, I was thinking about this on my way home from your house today after the game. This looks like a team that would ruin a young quarterback. Like Campbell or don't, this looks like a team with the coaching that we have and the O-line and the drops. Like we did the opposite of helping him. We made this as difficult as we can. This looks like a team that's going to ruin another quarterback in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Hope it doesn't happen.
Cam Ward will be the last thing.
He's getting destroyed. They won't catch his passes. Also, we just don't let him throw. So he has this long period of time where he's not throwing. How does you get in a rhythm doing that? Like we literally are setting him up to fail. It's just frustrating.
Yeah, I guess we can just go ahead and dive into Cam Ward.
Yeah,
I agree. It's so hard for me to give him anything more than a C+. But at the same time, if Io Manor doesn't have that drop, if Calvin Ridley doesn't have, it was. If Calvin Ridley doesn't have those, was it 3 drops?
1, 2, 3 I could think of, yeah.
3 for sure. If Chig uses his other hand, Chig, like the one that Chig dropped, he made it look like it was a bad pass. But I feel like he some reason didn't get his other hand up for some reason. Like he could have tried to 2-hand that bad boy, but he just like throws up one arm for some reason. And all of those drops is just awful. And Chim just kind of not quite running the route right. That's the time Cam Ward got kind of irritated.
Yeah.
I was telling him, like, you ain't running the route right, bub. I don't know. It's just like when you can't catch the ball when it hits your hands and when you're letting the quarterback hit over and over and over, that's how you run a quarterback. That's how quarterbacks start seeing ghosts. That's when quarterbacks start throwing when they're not ready. And then when he throws it, has zero confidence that his guys are going to catch the ball, which is so sad to see because like he's so high on Calvin Ridley. He's been so high on Calvin Ridley all off season long, and Ridley just gave us his worst game as a Titan.
I think he did. As a Titan, I agree. That might be one of his worst games.
For all I know, it might be the worst game of his career. He could not catch the football. He could not catch the football.
He's bad. That was bad. To be honest, every single pass catcher, I would say, did not get a passing grade, hardly, except for Gunnerham. I thought it was 2 for 2 that they took away the ball, which I'm like, refs, Titans suck. We don't need you guys to just take something like that away. That was a catch, and I should have kept the drive going. But
yeah, I should have. But yeah, Gunnar Help was fine. Honestly, I'm not that upset with Io Manor. I did hate the drop he had because that was one of Cam Ward's most impressive plays. He just stood there poised, calm as a blitzer's just zipping in. He sidearms that rascal right in there on a slant. And Io Manor, both hands just goes, and just drops it. You remember that one?
Yeah, I remember. Because I thought that was impressive because not everybody can sidearm like that. And it was beautiful because that guy was coming in hot, and you just stood basically around him right to Alec Iomano. If he made that catch, we would all be like, "That was impressive. That was a tough throw." And that's how you beat a blitz, man. That was impressive.
And he even got open quick. He got open on the slant. Everything was perfect, and then he dropped it. But besides that, I thought Alec Iomano was solid. I thought he was decent. Gunnar Helm was good, and then apparently he was doing too good for us, so we took him out because I sure didn't notice him at least in the second half. Tony Pollard is what Tony Pollard is. We act like he's a top 5 running back, and that's another Brian Callahan issue I have. We use him like he is Bijan Robinson or, I don't know, Derrick Henry, and he's just simply not.
No, he's not. And I thought that last year too. Like you said.
Yeah, it's just frustrating. Very, very frustrating. Give me 2 seconds. I got to attend to something. You can entertain the people.
Oh, hi, guys. Yes, very frustrating. I thought Callahan called a bad game. And that's the thing. He ended up having Cam Ward that is 28 to 20, I think 29 passes, which actually is not bad. But the thing is, they all came late in a situation that was difficult. The defense knew it was coming. They was able to pin their heels back and go get them. The offense line couldn't hold up. And so, yes, Cam started getting throws, but one, he went cold for a while because we would not throw the ball. And so I feel like Cam Ward, it wasn't really fair for him to ask him to be cold like that, then start throwing against this defense that you know you're throwing. And that was such a difficult situation. I think we should have had Cam Ward throwing more early and mid in the game when running was a possibility. You could do play actions, you could do all that, but we did not throw it enough. At halftime, he had 12 passes. I think halfway through the third quarter, he hasn't even thrown a single ball. And like, you're going to be cold like that. And then when you actually expect him to start throwing the ball, you thrown like 2 passes in the last hour. And so, like, how do you expect this guy to come out there with his defense coming down on you and throw? And I thought he threw some decent balls, as we just noted. No one caught it for him. But I just feel like Callahan did the best he could to set him up to fail.
Yeah, good job. Keep that up, Callahan. It's just a frustrating game.
Yeah,
there's no way around it.
You're going to make Cam Ward another Jake Locker, Marcus Mariota, Vince Young. You know, you're just going to make him another quarterback like that. Go ahead. Sorry.
If you wanted to be positive, you could say, we just hung in there with a playoff team. Not only hung in there, I think we should have won that game. When you have 4 turnovers and you get no touchdowns out of it, and one of them being a punt. So if you want to be overly positive, we hung with a playoff team. But guess what? We ain't even sniffing the playoffs if that's how Callahan's going to call a game. If that's how wide receivers are going to catch. If that's how our offensive lines are going to hold up in pass protection.
Yeah, that was not a playoff team that we just saw because it had so many issues. O-line, we got to fix that. Catching the ball, you got to fix that. Callahan, being a better head coach, you got to fix that. Penalties, ridiculous how many we did. Just like there's so many things to fix. It is so many things. And the problem is we looked like this last year. So I was really hoping can we fix some of this stuff? But it looked like that whole offseason, what did we do? What did we fix? Nothing so far. I know it's just week 1, but it looked like we didn't fix anything at all.
It's so frustrating.
We have, I think everyone would say, a better quarterback, but Callahan did not let him be a better quarterback.
That's where I should have that's what I should have ran my little rant with, like started off with. Because one thing that I was complaining about a lot was, and I said this before the video in our preview, I said, do not put training wheels on Cam Ward. I said, it looks like he absolutely did. Because I said, Will Levis had training wheels all season because because Brian Callahan did not trust him. Clearly. In game 1 and game 3, I think it was, they kind of looked like they had training wheels on Cam Ward in the preseason. I said, it's the regular season now. We're going to be a bad team. If we play conservative, we're going to lose. Take the training wheels off, please. And what did you and I both say after the first half? Those training wheels are on.
Yes.
Cam Ward is a gunslinger. His best attribute is letting him let that ball rip. But instead, it looks like Callahan, obviously I don't know what he's saying, but it looks like Callahan's grabbing Cam Ward by the helmet, being like, hey, listen, buddy, please don't dive when you're being sacked and lateral it behind you. Please don't do a flick 6. Just take a check down, hand the ball off as many times as I can get you to do it. That's all I need from you, buddy. Like, that's what it looks like he was doing. Let me put it this way. The first half of Titans football, I could have played quarterback in that offense. As long as I can catch the snap, then
stick it in someone's gut.
Yep. Catch the snap, stick it in Tony's gut, and like that's basically all that was required of him.
Mm-hmm.
And then these receivers who's been basically just blocking and running routes for no reason the whole first half, suddenly they got to try to get used to catching a dang football again.
Yeah.
It was disgusting. I hated it.
I wonder if that has something to do with the drops that our people wasn't used to catching, and we went such a long time without actually throwing the ball that everyone's hands were cold. I mean, I don't know, but it's just ridiculous. You know what's frustrating is this Cam Ward is what this whole season is about. I know we're going to be bad, but I just want to see growth from our quarterback, and Callahan did his best to make sure we didn't see much of that.
Yeah, like what are we getting out of watching Tony Pollard run up the middle over and over and over?
Yeah. And I would say that O-line, I was so overly, I'm probably going to eat these words, optimistic about this offense. And I know the Broncos has a good defense. I get it. But that looked like the second half looked like offensive line of the last couple of years, didn't it?
That's what I was about to say. That's what confused me the most about that is our offensive line was okay in the first half. And in the second half, it fell apart. Could we not just pick up a blitz?
Yeah.
There were literally plays where he'd snap the ball, immediately start running backwards from one side, and just be the other guy on the other side. And they're just everybody, and he just either take the sack or they got him for an intentional grounding.
Dan Moore looks like a waste of money. It's just one week, but right now he looks like a waste of money. JC Latham, I'm not feeling good about this hip thing because this has been bothering him for a little while, and now apparently still bothering him. That scales me. So our tackles might be trash again. Peter Skoronski and Zeitler, I didn't notice him as much, but at the second half, there was like 4 or 5 guys coming at him. So you feel like those two had to mess up some.
Yeah.
And then Cushionberry. It's just like we put too much draft capital and money to suck this bad.
Mm-hmm. It's frustrating.
It is.
Very, very frustrating. Not just that, but we're going against the Rams next week. We're going to lose. Then after that, apparently the Colts have the best offense in NFL history. They didn't punt once the whole game.
I will say, buddy, week 1 can be a lie. So let's watch week 2 what the Colts look like. If the Colts do that again, obviously they're probably going to punt some. If they do that again, yeah, we're in trouble.
But here's the problem is Titans could be a whole lot worse because you got to win 3 phases, offense, defense, special teams. We were actually really good in 2 phases of football.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just the one phase was so.
Here's the problem, buddy. We had a field goal that came from a good return. And then the other 3 field goals was given by turnovers. Our offense literally couldn't get 1 field goal on their own merit. Not one.
That's what I'm saying. If our defense plays average, if our special teams plays average, we would have just gotten beat like 3-20 today.
3, not even 3.
I mean, it's true. We never moved the ball once. So yeah, I agree. It's very, very possible that if it wasn't for our defense and special teams, we got beat 20-0 today.
Yeah.
Our offense we couldn't get first downs.
No. And that's what we've been saying the last couple of years with Will Levis and these bad quarterbacks. And yet we have the number 1 of our pick. This is supposed to be better. Yes, I know it's his first game ever, but Callahan made sure you just. Again, I would say this: Brendan Allen could have played today's game, and that's not me talking bad about Cam. That's me talking bad about Callahan. Like he did not ask Cam what to be. He just told him to hand the ball off, and then basically run for your life when the pass rushers get to you.
Disgusting.
Yep.
Just disgusting.
Yep. Sometimes it's annoying. Like I waited all off season for that crap.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly don't even know what else to say. Good job, Xavier Woods, on getting a pick.
If you're done, I'm done.
Good job, Roger. Good job, Roger McCreary, getting a pick.
Yeah, I like Roger. I always have.
Yeah, we better re-sign him.
Yeah. I like Roger. Good job by Webb. He's someone I didn't have much confidence in. Who else? I was gonna say good job with Simmons, and then that penalty was stupid. I like Day. I liked the linebackers. I didn't notice as much. That play that Simmons was stupid. Barton. No, what's his name? Yeah, is it Barton? Yeah. He made a good play. He blew that up. So yeah, I thought our defense looked good. Hooker. The only top play I didn't like Hooker was that time. Now, granted, he was short, but when he hit the receiver and he didn't wrap up, you got to wrap up though.
Yeah, but I also would have liked to see the other people in the defense swarm and get over there.
But yeah, good defense. I like it. It's just that offense. Really think about it. Receivers sucked. Offensive line sucked. Cameron wasn't good enough. I'll just say that. Running game wasn't great. So really, that offense, every phase was bad. Not a single good thing.
Wide receivers either weren't getting open, or if they were, they was just dropping it.
Mm-hmm.
It was just despicable. Just a despicable thing. So maybe we can rebound at home next week. Probably not. At this point, I remember saying this last year. I remember saying this last year after we dropped a couple losses in the season, being like, I'm picking us to lose every game for the rest of the season. I'm trying not to overreact, but, I'm kind of getting there.
Yeah.
Guess what, though? That's what week 1's for. Week 1 is for overreacting. So for now, I don't pick us to win another game the rest of the season.
Yeah. We got a lot of season left. We'll see.
I mean, like, even the horrible teams, like, think about us going against the Browns. What is this offensive line going to do against Myles Garrett?
Yeah. This is going to be another long season, buddy.
Yes, it is. I'm so excited to break it all down with you people on the Tight Bros. Tons of fun.
It's tough being a Titan fan.
It is. Now I get to stare at the ceiling when I lay down in bed tonight, mad. All right, so I guess that's our show, boys and girls. Got anything you want to say before we just peel on out of here and punch a wall?
No, I'm done. I'm done thinking about the Titans. I need to take a couple day break from them and get back on Saturday, like on Wednesday.
Nah, Thursday. Yep, sounds good. All right, buddy. Guess that's the end of our show. Please like and subscribe. Let your frustration out on the like and subscribe button.
Yes.
Just smash them both.
Comment how much you love being a Titan fan, please.
Yeah. Tell us how you need therapy after being a Titans fan. Okay. So that said, I guess that's our show. So tighten up, I guess. Tighten up that offensive game plan, boys. Peace out and all that jazz.